It's 5:45 Tuesday morning. I'm going to go downstairs to have some breakfast. And then I'm going to go about my day. I don't know what I'm going to do out, but there's going to be some breakfast downstairs, and then I'm going to take a couple hours to do some last minute works. Then we'll go out about town, I guess. And might as well give you a nice view of the so I can with apparently the Department of National Defense is on the other side of this hotel, so I don't want to be come across as a bit of a spy. This guy with a camcorder is peeking out the window, trying to get government secrets or something. I don't know. It's a nice tree, though. It's a nice tree. It's a nice looking tree. Yes. Anyhow, I'm gonna look for some pants. Department of National Defense, right across the street. That's the hotel up front. Nice place. Alright. It's actually quite a cold out, so yeah. Right, so I might as well fill in the blanks, try to say some words while you're seeing nothing but driving scenes here, which unfortunately, if you're looking for any interesting pictures along the way, there's not much. It's just me putting the camcorder on the dash and pretty much just letting it record while I drive through the streets of Ottawa looking for some game shops to find some words, which I eventually did, and we'll showcase those at the end of the video. But yeah, I'm mostly driving around town looking for some game shops to find some wares and stop by the occasional Dollar Tree or two along the way because why not? And honestly, the Dollar Tree stops are usually the highlight of the trip because I usually get a bunch of good stuff for a relatively low price. And yeah, maybe I could have taken some time to take in some of the sights and sounds, go to a couple of tourist locations, things of that nature, but I mostly take these trips to relax and get away from the noise such as it is. Take in some of the peace and quiet while I can, use the time to catch up on some stuff, despite, or rather in spite of, the ludicrously slow and sometimes unstable Wi-Fi connection that the hotel provides. In comparison, the hotel that I stayed in my last two trips in Ottawa had a much better Wi-Fi experience that didn't drop like a fly every so often. But there was a TV on there and it had a bunch of basic channels on there, including the CTV's Sci-Fi channel, which had a bunch of Star Trek airing in the evenings, which I didn't mind. Hell, they had TSN, so I figured why not catch up on some AEW one Wednesday, and it was fine. Even stayed up long enough to catch an episode of Scott D'Amore's Maple Leaf Pro Show, which was okay for an hour-long pre-taped wrestling show airing at midnight. I don't know what else to tell you. It was a show that aired at midnight, and probably not the best time to be airing a wrestling show, but whatever. Other than that, though, I had a good time for the most part. Could have done it on a week without the drizzling shit showers that we've been bombarded with, but that's okay, it wasn't a total deal breaker, and for the most part, I was able to get some stuff done during the time away, so I would call that a fairly productive and relaxing trip. But enough of this driving scenery, let's check out some pickups that I got during the trip, and I don't know what we're doing after, I guess we'll find out later. Right, so I don't know what's preceding this piece of business right here, but I figured on my last night before I head on the road back home, I show off some wares.
so to speak. So, anyways, I haven't done many pickups this year, to be honest with you. Probably picked up like a couple of games here and there, maybe a couple off of a Steam sale or a GOG or a eShop sale, whatever the case may be. Most of it's been like digital, even then. Not a whole lot of it, but found a few interesting ones, or at least some interesting add-ons that I wanted to add to the collection. So we got Robot Tank for the Atari 2600, which I think we did a video on years ago, and that was off the Activision Anthology on PS2, so it's nice to have like an actual cartridge to play with. Give that a whirl. Next up we have Race Driving for Game Boy, which we actually did a video on ages ago, and I think that was on a multi-cart. So we got a proper race driving game, and for those of you who don't know what Race Driving is, it's the sequel to Hard Driving, or Horror Driving. I'm not going to do it here, but it's the one with the 3D graphics and the polygons and all that stuff. And there was a version on the Super Nintendo that ran like shit, but the version on Game Boy, on the other hand, better than it deserves to, better than it has any right of being, to be honest with you. So happy to have a copy of this. I think we did a video on this. Shit, it would have been like 2018, 2019, I don't remember. I guess I could add like a thing there, but I won't, so we won't bother. X-Men 2 Clone Wars for Genesis, which surprisingly I did not have this. I had the first game, but I didn't have the second game. This was fairly cheap too, about 20-30 bucks, so that wasn't too bad. We've got Fatal Fury 2 for Super Nintendo, which we already played this when it was on the NSO, but there was a copy of the game and it goes along nicely. I already had the first game and I had the Fatal Fury Special, so I figured why not complete the trilogy while I got the chance. We got Midway's Greatest Arcade Hits Volume 1 for Nintendo 64. Did they ever make a Volume 2? Probably not. But we got Defender, Joust, Robotron 2084, Root Beer Tapper, Spy Hunter, and Sinistar. So that'll be interesting to look at. And I don't know how much, we'll probably have to stack this up somehow, because I gotta make way for Star Wars Jedi Starfighter for Xbox, which I actually don't have. I have Starfighter, the special edition on Xbox, but not Jedi Starfighter. I don't know if this came out for PC. I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe Starfighter I know did, but I don't know if this one did. Anyways, I don't know. I don't care. I have it now. And if the Xbox still works, I might give it a whirl. Next up we have a GameCube game that apparently Space Raiders, from the creators of Space Invaders. Apparently this is supposed to be really, really bad. Rated T for teen. It's supposed to be a remake of Space Invaders. I'll take your word for it. And that's all I got. If nothing else, it should make for interesting video fodder sometime next year, maybe. I don't know. And finally we got Knight's Journey of Dreams for the Wii. I figured why not. It was cheap. It was only like 25 bucks, so I figured why not. What's the worst that could happen other than... So, you know, honestly, for me personally, I think it was a good haul. I'll never complain about another way of playing Joust or Robotron. A Robotron 64 won't be so lonely after all. Happy to finish off the Fatal Fury run on Super Nintendo. Stay still. This is kind of a nice find, and for a fairly cheap price. You know, I'm kind of happy with that, especially and this too. So I cannot complain with the haul overall. I may complain on this side here, but you know, we'll get to those eventually. But on a whole, you know what? It's not bad, not bad at all. Kind of happy with what I picked up for the most part. And when we get back, we'll see. So, anyways, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna pack up, and then tomorrow we'll be on the road, and hopefully, I don't know, see some more roadside scenery. I guess, I suppose. Maybe make a couple stops on the way back. Just sip a one full water. I was going to put this away.